Welcome back to another episode of the Panther Sports Zone. I'm your host, David Smith.
I'm Zach Collins.
I'm Cyril Neville.
First week, new blessings, new beginnings. So we're just going to get right into it. First of all, how was y'all weekend?
It was going good, bro. It was going real good, I swear.
And then yesterday happened.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that, though. I got a special subject, topic for that, and how that all correlates with each other. But before we get into that, the men's baseball team played Southern at Baton Rouge this past weekend. What was it?
No. Congratulations, because we ripped y'all a new one on Friday. We said y'all was sorry. We talked about your coach all day. And they came on Friday night and won 10-4.
Yeah.
I was so excited for them. And then they came back and lost, I think, Saturday, a close game, wasn't it? But just the fact of them turning around against the best team in the SWAC currently, congratulations, because we definitely had to eat our words on Friday.
Yeah, we poked some shots.
But it worked,
happens,
and I'm glad that they
watched the show.
Yeah, well, even if they don't, it's just the fact that they turned around and against good competition, I feel like they stepped up, and I feel like whenever we play other people that aren't so good, I feel like we play down to their level, and whenever you play somebody at their level, they know how to win at their level, so they can beat you. So congratulations about Friday. Of course, they didn't win all the games over the weekend, but just the way they fought, I was definitely proud of that, because 32-2, you got to do something.
What was you finna say?
I just wanted to know the scores.
Oh, they didn't even post them on our website for some reason. But the women's softball team lost to TSU on a walk-off Friday.
Oh, that's
unfortunately, yeah, it was
so
a
tough.
walk-off home run on ESPN. Yeah. But the next two games actually got canceled, so they moved it back to May 4th at TSU. So make sure you guys.
Little insider news, they was actually winning that game. It was like 3-1, the game they canceled. It only rained for like 15 minutes, and because they was winning, TSU coach was like, nah, we can get up out of here.
I forgot what would happen in high school. I think you just have to
wait.
Yeah.
Wait it out?
Yeah.
Well, some games could just get canceled in general.
Well, you know, they set up the schedule certain type of ways. Like when we had the hurricane 2 years ago, they had the open date on the Thanksgiving, which pushed the TSU game from Labor Day to all the way to Thanksgiving. So it's open dates on the schedule. That's why they put it on the 4th.
Yeah. Now on to bowling. Congratulations, they won the SWAC championship. Again.
We got some gold bowlers.
Like the third year in a row now.
Congratulations.
They go into the.
That was on ESPN too, huh?
Yeah, ESPN.
Yeah.
Last night.
I mean, like TOO. I got you.
Yeah, so we got a chance to watch a replay of that. They play in the NCAA championship on Friday in Houston. I'm not sure if that's going to be on TV. Hopefully it is. We're going to get more word on
Well,
that.
yeah, we'll have more word by Friday.
Yeah. Unfortunately, rugby lost in a HBCU Classic against Morehouse State, 31-7. From there, from summer rugby players, rugby definitely recruited. Came back bigger and better.
Yeah. And
just smacked them.
Okay.
So it's not much you can do
You
about
covered rugby as well as baseball, huh?
Yeah. I was supposed to go, but
prior engagements.
Yeah, prior engagements.
Would you play rugby?
Heck no.
You see, David, they was snapping.
They came back with like concussions.
Yeah, that ain't it.
But you would be the person on the side just running.
Oh man, they get hit too.
All right.
Everybody get hit. Ain't no way around it.
Everybody get their issue.
Yeah. When we come back, we got some interesting news from MLB, some birthdays in the NFL, and some March Madness
news. Davis is right, basically.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I call it like I see it. We'll be right back from the Panther Sports Zone.
Traditions are not made overnight. They are created through a legacy of excellence and a commitment to something much greater. For more than 135 years, Prairie View A&M University has provided students with a strong academic foundation, a unique college experience, and the opportunity to make their mark on the world. This is a place where friendships are formed, discoveries are made, and dreams are realized. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Welcome back to the Panther Sports Zone. So an interesting fact in MLB, the first 2000 baby made his debut.
Who is that?
Elvis Luciano, 19 years old. We getting old, fellas. Yeah.
Wait, so he from
I don't know where he from.
DR? Where he from?
He probably from the islands or something
Okay.
like that. But also, Xander Bogaerts signed a contract extension, 7 years, $132 million.
What does he play?
Shortstop for the Red Sox.
Okay.
Definitely one of the sleepers in the whole MLB. Been consistent for multiple years.
Yeah, he's part of the Killer Bee group in Boston. So you guys are in the Bogarts, Benintendi, and
Mookie Betts.
yeah, that's what. I don't know how I forgot
That's
his name.
Davis' favorite name to say. He gonna give you
Mookie
Mookie
Betts.
Betts. One
Bro, it's
once
cold.
a
I forgot.
episode.
I don't know how I forgot his name.
But we got somebody else coming in MLB, Michael Cooper, though.
Okay.
Oh
Doing
yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to the
Shout out to
homeboy.
Coop.
Ron Washington too.
Yeah.
Another one.
Shout out to Ron. Dude's been in like college for like,
Forever.
yeah,
Yeah. But it be like that sometimes. So.
yeah.
Definitely.
Some interesting news for Adrian Broner. Antonio Brown, since he signed, he has made like NFL executives kind of nervous
From what?
just because of his signing, how he handled it, his situation.
Because he takes the power out of their
Yeah.
hands. That tells you, one, that tells you about their mentality towards the athletes. And two, it tells you,
The lack
He-
of diversity
yes,
as far as ownership.
but more than anything, what he did is what we all expected Le'Veon to do.
Right.
Get what you want, show that you're worth more than what they're trying to offer you, and ultimately play wherever you feel is the best place for you. He felt like Oakland was that place. And you got to that's what I don't think we fully understand that as athletes. Just like, let's take the NCAA for instance. If they don't play in that tournament, like let's just say they all set out the tournament, or they don't play the national championship game, they're losing money. Like, yeah, they made money throughout the tournament, but the national championship, whenever it is, what is it, Monday or Tuesday, whenever it comes up, or they get a week break or something. Like, if they just sit out that game, that's money lost, and the NCAA is taking the L. We don't see a dime from that. We don't see anything from that. The same thing with him. So he just took his future into his own hands. He told you, he said, I made enough money to where I don't have to play this game no more. I've been good enough to where I don't need to prove anything else. Like, I'm a GOAT in my eyes. And that's the thing. Like, you have to be okay with whatever you put on display, in whatever field you're in. Like, you have to be okay, like, with the product that you made yourself, because you ultimately put yourself in that position, you and everybody behind you. And he knew the Steelers didn't make him. Like, he made himself that way, and he just flourished within the Steelers system. So it just shows athletes, like, if you want to do something and you feel like you have leverage, like, use your leverage. And his leverage was, I could retire and I'll be fine.
Yeah, it all comes down to like changing the customs of how people
exactly.
move in the free agency in the NFL. They
If
see all the NBA players, having, the control with their destiny and doing what they want to do. So it's all about changing customs and just changing the culture of like what you're in.
I'm looking
So-
forward to the collective bargaining agreement, like the next one that comes up, because it's going to be a lot of change. There's definitely going to be fights for guaranteed contracts. It's definitely going to be a shift in the dynamic, because if you're going to ask me, I feel like the NFL owners definitely make way more money than the NBA owners. And for them to, like, make fractions of NBA contracts of average players, that's insane. Like, even if they make, like, let's say even these contracts stay the same numbers, that's fine. As long as they're fully guaranteed, then that means they're worth something more. Like, don't tell me my contract is $100 million, but I only get to see 30 of it,
Right.
and 20 of that comes in a signing bonus. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
So for him to do that and him become the highest paid receiver again, for him to get the money, he go from 0 guaranteed dollars to 33 guaranteed, I think, 33 million. It's just, that's congratulations to him, and he stood on what he fought for.
So how you feel about AJ Green? Do you think he should go somewhere else?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I put AJ Green in my top 5, but he's obviously always has an injury bug.
Yeah.
That's his biggest issue. But
And a QB bug.
definitely. But whenever he gets the targets, he had to sit up on that one. Whenever he gets his targets, he's gonna get 1,500 yards. He's gonna get 10 touchdowns. Like, he's definitely one of those receivers that's always gonna produce. So I feel like he should leave.
Where would he go?
I
Honestly,
would
I
go
could see him
somewhere
in Green
the
Bay.
AFC North.
You read my mind. Green Bay, Colts still have money that they haven't used. like that
Yeah.
type of.
You said the Colts too.
Yeah. Colts don't
The
have
Colts had a lot of cap space. Though,
exactly,
so.
and they haven't really been using it. I thought that they were gonna get Le'Veon, but Marlon Mack definitely had a good season. But I could see him at the Colts, the Packers, like you said, Carolina, somewhere like that with an established quarterback who needs a number one threat. It's a couple
Yeah.
of quarterbacks like that. So
And establish like weapons too.
yes,
Free him up some space because in Cincinnati, besides him,
They
Who
don't
else
have
is there?
nobody.
at running back,
Giovanni Bernard.
Joe Mixon is better than Gio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who played?
But their offensive line
Yeah.
is terrible, and Tyler Eifert was always hurt,
Heard.
so they
He
didn't
used
really.
to be my boy on fantasy.
He just
Yeah,
come in
just
his
always
first
hurt.
2 years.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right. Now
And
it's-
happy birthday to Sean Taylor.
oh yeah,
R.I.P.
happy
to
birthday,
GOAT.
Sean Taylor.
R.I.P. too.
R.I.P.
That's a legend, boy.
Yeah.
It's an 8-minute clip on Twitter of just hits. In the Pro Bowl, the punter did a fake punt, and he literally sent him
Smacked
back
him.
5 yards. Like, you could just see his head just cocked back. Like, he's a different breed. It's funny because, like, if you know me, like, he knows me. As far as, like, football, like, I'm big on, like, I wear my visor, I wear my sleeve, I wear my bands. Like, I'm gonna have on different types, like, new cleats, all of that. Like, Sean Taylor is a heavy influencer in that. So one game in his college career, like, he's a senior, and they're, like, talking about him in pregame. And Sean Taylor used to wear colored Oakleys. I don't know, like,
Yeah,
people-
Visor.
yeah,
Yeah.
so he had this orange one on, and he switched into the mid. Like at the beginning of the game, he has an orange one on. So in the pregame cast, they talk about his orange visor. At halftime, he puts on a dark Oakley, and the
That
casters
was, like-
pointed out like, but it's just crazy. Like
Yeah,
people
that
don't
was the
even notice
trend.
that. Like, but I didn't think anybody paid attention. But he's just up there just.
Yeah,
They
that's
having
when
a
it-
5-minute conversation about it.
Yeah.
Like that just tells you how influential he is. Like if you see people with tape fingers in football,
Mhm.
that's Sean Taylor. Like Oakley's big. Like Sean Taylor was a starter like freak safeties. Like Cam Chancellor is from the thread of Sean Taylor. Landon plays like he wants to play like him. I don't think he plays like him, but it'll never be somebody as gifted as he was. For him to be 6'3", 240, move the way he did, he was a ball hawk. He's gonna hit you. He did everything right. So
What
that
about
was
Earl
a.
Thomas.
Earl Thomas is not as big as him. He moved
Right.
just like Earl Thomas
Right.
at 6'3".
Makes sense.
That's what that hurt more than anything. Like nobody cared. Like I live in Dallas.
yeah.
Nobody cares about the Washington Redskins, but I'm young and I understand like his impact in 07 was unmatched. Like for him to shift the game the way he made defense like typically offense is fun. You know everybody want to play receiver, running back. He made defense like fun. Like you want to be like Sean Taylor, you want to be like Ed Reed. He was the sole reason that like he was on one of those last real Miami teams. So that one hurt. I got a picture of him on my wall.
Yeah, he kind of started the trend of the like swaggy type player. And
Exactly.
Kind of like AI.
But he
for
did
the
it. He did
NFL.
it so subtle. Like he don't talk. You see interviews of him. He real soft spoken. He's not talking. He's not. If he doesn't know you, if he didn't grow up with you, he's not gonna really have a
Yeah.
relationship with you. Like he was that type of dude. So it was just he just let his play speak, and his play speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Now on to the NBA. The Warriors clinched their fifth straight playoff
God.
spot. But are they beatable this year?
For sure.
For sure.
With Boogie on the floor, because they
Boogie.
still haven't figured it out.
With Boogie
Yeah.
and KD on the floor.
'Cause I remember you asked me.
They play
Before last
way,
show.
yeah, they play way better without KD.
Yeah.
You
You
think
think so?
They've been doing it before KD.
But
And look what
KD
happens.
changed it up though. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie.
KD
You're
brings a
right,
different
but when
dynamic.
KD starts to go to that ISO game and it kind of stops their like movement,
But
that's when
rare
they're not
now.
at their best.
That's
That's when
rare.
they're definitely beatable. That's
Yeah.
that's why the
True.
Rockets took them to 7 because KD was definitely doing ISO ball. So
Because everything is about repetition. So you go back
Yeah.
to what you know, and he knows at the end of the game, 30 seconds left.
They gonna
Give me the
get-
ball and get out my way.
I'm gonna give it to him too.
as KD,
It's nobody that can score like him outside of Harden.
but we know
And Harden do it
KD be
different.
choking though. KD's been
He don't
choking.
choke more than Harden. though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Everybody in the NBA chokes.
But KD's.
Realistically,
If I need somebody all NBA, I'm giving it to KD.
when's the last time you seen KD like make a game winner?
Did he not do it in Cleveland in the finals?
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
He made a 3. It was from like 35 feet.
What game was that? What game was that?
Say it again. Back
Back
to
to
back.
back.
Okay then.
Okay,
So,
but on the
relax.
Warriors though, with Steph and Clay.
You're not
and
talking.
Draymond.
I'm
Are
still
you going to
not
have
giving
a
it to
single
Steph.
argument, or are you going to point out different things? If we're going to
I'm
say he's
pointing
not
out he's
clutch,
on one of the. He's not clutch
okay,
either.
how is he
From
not clutch? I
OKC.
just explained to you in a finals game that he made a game-winning three. How is that not
Back-to-back.
clutch?
One
James Harden hasn't
time?
even.
Back to back.
What are you saying?
Back
James
to
Harden
back.
hasn't
He has
even
not.
seen the finals. So what are you arguing with me? How is he not clutch?
We're gonna blame James Harden for being on
That's
the
his
Rockets
fault.
team that doesn't
That's
have
his
weapons
fault. He
like the
signed that
Warriors.
long
The
contract.
Warriors have
They the
4
one that-
All-Stars.
Whoa, the Rockets did have weapons like the Warriors. They had Eric Gordon, who's
We're talking
Wonder-
about 4 All-Stars, bro.
bro.
4.
Eric Gordon is an all-star
The
too.
Rockets
You
only
yelling
have
doesn't help your
James
point.
Harden and CP3.
How does
as
that take away from the
All-Stars.
ISO
And
when
game?
you play-
How does that make? We're not going to
They-
talk
they
over
are
each other.
James
both-
Harden
Relax.
gets-
We're not going to talk over each other. You said KD is not clutch.
no, he's not.
I asked you to prove me a point. You didn't say one.
KD is
I
not
told you that he
clutch.
made a three
KD
in the
hasn't been
finals.
clutch
So that
since
makes him
OKC.
clutch. I don't care what you're talking about. He
What?
won. That's a finals
made it
game. We're
back-to-back.
we're
I
don't
talking about a
care.
different level of pressure.
I don't care
How does
when
that
you
not
have
make you
Clay-
clutch? Okay.
I don't care when you have Clay
Your
Thompson
argument
and
is not
Steph
right.
Curry.
How does
The
what does
best
that have to
shooters
do
in the
with
game.
Kevin Durant shooting the
Kevin
ball?
Durant has not
Nothing.
been clutch.
That has nothing to do with Kevin Durant pulling up and
Oh
shooting
my
and making a
God.
shot in the clutch. That has nothing to do with it. You who's
I've
guarding
seen
him?
him choke plenty
Four,
of
right?
times.
Yeah.
Who's guarding him? The ball dude that plays for Houston.
PJ Tucker?
Yes, he's guarding him. He's gonna shoot over him. Whenever LeBron was guarding him and he still made a clutch three. What are you
KD
saying?
didn't
Like,
make a clutch shot
Oh
in
my
that Rockets game series. You
Okay.
can watch all those games. What happened game 6?
Who won?
He choked.
who won?
CP3
Who won the
was hurt.
finals?
CP3
Who got
was hurt.
finals MVP? Okay then. I don't want to hear it.
Oh
Dang.
my God.
Come on now.
If
All
I
I'm
hear
hearing
another
is
back
facts.
to back.
Thank you. He
KD's
yelled
not-
and it didn't help him.
You can watch all of
It's not gonna help
games
you.
from KD back in the day.
It's
Till
not gonna help
now,
you.
he's
So how do you?
he
So
chokes
you
a lot.
lose clutchness over time? No. What are you saying? Your
He's
argument's
never been
invalid.
clutch.
I hope this camera's on.
So
three
you,
I can see
Kyrie's
you.
more clutch than
Keep
KD,
talking.
right? Let's
How?
be honest.
Kyrie
Yeah,
made.
Kyrie's definitely more clutch than KD.
He just missed a clutch shot 2 weeks ago against the Bucks when we needed it. So he guess he's not clutch either, huh?
It's the
All
regular
right, then.
season. You're not gonna make all your game winners.
So what are you arguing?
I haven't
If KD
seen
has
KD
proof
hit
of
a-
making game winners, what are you
haven't seen it.
arguing?
I haven't
Nothing.
seen it.
You just want to argue today, and I'm
I
not
haven't
for it.
seen
Let's
it.
go, Davis.
Y'all, KD's not clutch. I promise.
We're talking
Hasn't
about the
been
most
clutch.
pure scorer in the game right now,
I
and
know
he's
he's
not
one of the
clutch.
purest scorers, but he's not clutch. LeBron's not clutch. Steph is not clutch.
So who's
KD's
clutch?
not.
You
Nobody's
just said
clutch.
Kyrie?
Kyrie's the only clutch person
Oh
in
my
NBA, I
gosh.
guess.
Relax.
Yeah.
Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Let's go, Davis.
Anyways, before you get to the NBA, you gotta come from where. I
Some
messed
people
that.
got to come through there,
Yeah,
but you got to go to the
yeah,
tournament.
I messed that up.
It's all right, Davis.
Like I called it, we already know.
Talk your stuff, Davis.
Auburn beat North Carolina. My boy Lou in the back, he was talking all that noise for like the past 2 weeks, talking about who was Auburn. He's a football school.
They made that first Final Four ever.
Come on, bro. First Final Four ever. They got to play Virginia. They beat Kentucky. I called that too.
Well, Kentucky should have been folded.
Y'all was arguing
Nah.
up and down that
Yeah.
Kentucky was going to beat Houston. I mean, Houston was going to beat Kentucky.
I ain't gonna
They,
lie.
nah,
They
they
got
choked.
my
They
bad.
choked that
Yeah.
game themselves. Let's be
Told
honest.
y'all.
They had that.
When
game.
it comes down to like the last few minutes, they're always gonna put it in Corey Davis' hand or nobody else.
And he kind of forced those last.
Yeah,
two shots.
he forces his shots sometimes, so that kind
But
of.
he could have easily made that floater too. But
Oh yeah, most definitely.
he just missed.
But
it.
I got a question.
It
though.
happens.
Even with Carson Edwards losing, y'all still think he should get overall MVP
Oh.
of the tournament?
Heck yeah,
that boy
over Zion.
I've never seen
over
those
anybody.
numbers as far as like points. Like,
And
in
he's
those
been doing it
stretch of
all
Did he
year.
not have
games,
three?
yeah.
Wasn't it 3 40-point games?
I think it was 240 and then
One like
35.
38. Okay.
Yeah, something
He
like
been
that.
doing that all year. He deserves a Naismith or whatever it is.
The next man, basketball player.
Yeah,
but-
player of the year. And Texas Tech beat Gonzaga. I've been calling this Gonzaga's
Yeah.
garbage. They're not athletic.
I picked Tech strictly because they're in Texas.
They're not good, bro. They're just they just have big people, big men.
So, did you have any of these teams in the finals?
Who?
Final Four?
Yeah,
You had who?
You had Tech
Auburn.
in there.
I had
I picked
Auburn in
Tech.
it.
He didn't pick Tech.
Who?
You didn't.
Me? I did.
I thought you
Over.
had somebody else before.
Gonzaga?
You had Gonzaga losing way earlier, though.
Yeah, I had them losing the PV. Because they're not good, bro. They lost to Florida State last year, and Florida State is garbage.
You don't like Orvelli?
Who was that?
23?
No.
The lefty? You don't like him?
No, they suck.
He can hoop.
I mean, they could hoop.
Yeah, but
Top D1 prospects and stuff like that. But when it comes to like
When they play an
basketball,
actual hoop.
yeah, you got to play.
yeah, their
basketball.
transition
All that,
on offense is not as
yeah,
it
all
should
that,
be on a college game.
all that fundamental stuff goes out the window.
Yeah.
We hooping now.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, best defense in the tournament still. Michigan State beat Duke. That was actually my first time watching Zion play in like a full game, and I knew like
What did
after
you
the
think?
first 5 minutes they was gonna lose
Why?
because he's like all over the place, and when he's all over the place, it messes the team up.
I mean,
feel
as a
like he
coach,
was
what can you
forcing
do with
the
that
issue?
player though?
Huh?
You felt like he was forcing the
Yeah.
issue?
But as a
They
coach,
calm
what you
down.
gonna do? Like Zion's a freak.
I mean,
He's-
so
I understand
young,
he's
like-
athletic
like,
and all that.
He's never been in this moment.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what this pressure is like. He doesn't know how to handle it. He just knows like I'm the best athlete on this court, so I'm gonna figure out one way to get
Yeah.
it. And he has to understand that playing like basketball, especially at this point, it's all about team. It's all about they know you're like Tom Izzo is a very good coach, like probably top 3.
One of the best.
Yes, it's
For
him
sure.
and so he's gonna know everything you're gonna do. He's gonna know all the plays they call for you. He's gonna know when you go ISO and your favorite move, your second favorite move. He's gonna have his team prepared for all of that. So you can't go in there. You do what got you there, but you have to change it up to a certain extent. And you can't force the issue. You have to let the game naturally flow with you. And with him not knowing
Yeah.
the stage, not understanding everything that was going on. I mean, we talk about his high school career. He didn't really play anybody.
Yeah.
So for him to go there now, and you can still see he's the best athlete on the court,
Oh, for
but
sure.
it's just learning how to play the game,
Yeah.
and that's our biggest issue.
And
Well,
that's
it's not
what,
even an issue. It's just that comes with over time. Learning to play real basketball with people, it'll definitely come with Zion. It's just something he had to learn this time. Of course, Bear missing them free throws at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
it
hurt their
doesn't help
team.
when you don't have like pure shooters too.
Yeah.
And most
None
of
of
your
them
players
are.
are just driving, and they
Whenever-
have nobody to kick to really.
That's what happens when
Yeah.
the game is compressed. It happens in the tournament. It happens in NBA playoffs. Like the game gets compressed to half-court basketball.
You'll
It's
find
best.
out who can shoot and who can't shoot.
It becomes
So,
best players. It becomes who knows how to work in small spaces, and he needs room. So, just for me, I think that was a learning curve more than anything, and it showed him that he's not ready yet. And all this talk of him being a top 50 basketball player, including NBA players,
Yeah,
that is
so-
absurd. That has to relax.
Wait, what?
Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
So does this go to your point of Ja going number one?
Number one, yeah.
Okay.
So
I
what you
still-
say? What?
I still say
Ja going number one?
he hasn't maxed out completely.
Not at all.
But once he gets like mentally, he gets a shot.
Ja Morant
Nah,
or
Zion.
Yeah.
If he gets a shot, he'll be straight. But I'm still taking Ja over Zion right now, just because I don't. When you have like, he's really still an underdog, even though he has the spotlight and everything.
Who?
Ja.
He's still
He
gonna
does.
have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's definitely
the
gonna have a
time.
chip on his shoulder.
That's why I'm
And
taking.
He's
that's
like
something
Zion.
you need.
a kind of like a better shooter, as far as
Yeah.
like a Westbrook type,
Yeah.
and more handles though.
And
Probably better vision too.
Yeah, and I think he may even work out with him. I don't know, just
Yeah.
because comparisons, you know,
Mm-hmm.
easy it is to get access with pros now. But yeah, I'm taking Zion number 2 still,
Yeah.
and Ja number 1.
I said it's all about what they do in free agency. Just making it seem like what happens. That's why I asked when does the NBA open.
Yeah,
So
As
we'll
long
see.
as none of them go to the Knicks,
yeah, I was just about to say that.
I pray
That's-
to God.
They gonna
We'll
ruin
see
their
what
career.
But
We'll see what happens. One of them might be great enough to do it because they talk about Zion. That's what really made me mad. You looked up when I said they're literally arguing that he's a top 50 player like in the world, like not just
In the world.
Yeah, people gotta relax. Like I understand he's a great athlete. I understand he's probably gonna do some things. Like if you watch the pregame against Michigan State,
Oh yeah,
he does a little dribble over through his leg,
Yeah.
throw it off the backboard. Like
he's not doing that in the game.
stupid athletic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's
yeah,
like
people
relax,
kind of
let
forget
him.
he's a one-dimensional
Yeah,
player. Like
right.
he has to get to the bucket to score.
Can we pump the brakes just a little bit? Like we
He's gonna-
starting to
That's my
feed
problem
into
with
too much
like
stuff.
a lot of, hype around players sometimes. It's just like, you still haven't seen them in the big dance. You know what I'm saying?
But
you
I
still
mean,
haven't seen
you
them
don't
in
have
the
to.
NFL, NBA. You can evaluate and then just analyze what you see now and then kind of just like project what's gonna happen. but you just
But-
don't know for sure. That's why with Patrick Mahomes, I was like, before the season, I just wasn't sure because he hasn't played that many games yet, and nobody has film on him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he took advantage of that, of course. Got MVP, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what he do this year. But he'll have a great season.
It's the same. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same thing
it's
with
just-
Zion. Just allow him.
You just
Let
gotta
him
see.
play. Like we
Yeah.
have to get to a point to where he can be in an NBA uniform before we even say he's a Hall of Famer. They gotta relax, bro.
Ain't a Hall of Famer. If he's a Hall of Famer, I'm a Hall of Famer.
Exactly. Like I'm a GOAT already. Then.
Yeah.
Which I'm a GOAT anyway.
We're going to talk about that the rest of it Wednesday. We got a special segment. You know, obviously yesterday, we got some terrible news that Nipsey Hussle was shot.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into the background and our reasons for it. We're going to talk about how basically his music and impact and just hip-hop culture correlates with sports culture and why it's necessary
Well,
You can go.
to have it.
well, with the sports culture, most of sports is predominantly black.
Yeah.
As far as like the revenue that's being driven, is predominantly black athletes. So when you have a important like necessity like Nipsey that does stuff for the community and trying to give the knowledge to people that might not be able to gain access to that is something you need in the community. And so with players being able to speak on it, just even in general, like when it comes to, the hip hop culture and athletes, they should be able to, speak with each other, just being able to push out positive energy for the black culture and just move a different energy for everybody. So it's important that, we keep saying and, we keep praying and just keep moving forward. So.
You got any thoughts on it before I go?
Yeah, I was basically going to say, obviously they go hand in hand. You know, without hip-hop, there is no sports as big as it is, and without sports, there is no hip-hop. Because obviously you can look at LeBron, he's in studios with like...
You can even look at commercials like during the playoffs. They had J.
use
Cole last
whatever
year.
new
and
song.
Yeah,
They say rappers want to be athletes, athletes want to be rappers. That's how it goes.
same thing with fashion, you know.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
it's-
wants to be...
It's all tied together.
Man, it's not a practice I went to where I was. Everybody knows as an athlete, you don't want to practice every day. Like some days is your down days. Some days you need to be motivated. Some days you need to be talked to. It didn't matter if it was a practice. It didn't matter if I was going through a heartbreak. It didn't matter if I was being broke. Like Nipsey Hussle had a song that guided me through all of that. Like I have the marathon continues tatted on my leg. The first clip I ever posted from us being on this show, I said, life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Like this man just single-handedly mentored me, and I've never met him a day in my life.
That's the crazy part about like artists too. Like if J. Cole was to die today, I would be in shambles, and I've never met him.
Bro, what?
I done
been
cried
listening
at
to
least
him
5
since middle
times
school, bro.
in the last like 12 hours.
Right.
Like I went out last night just for a little bit. It just wasn't the same. Like bro, I've been listening to his music nonstop, but I was doing that before. It's listening to his interviews, like impacting. You could just see his players like Isaiah Thomas, who, he was going through his hip injury, and every day he's posting a Nipsey lyric. Every day he's talking to Nip. He tweets a marathon flag, which is the black and white flag. He's embedded in our culture, sports specifically. Just like when Blue Laces 2 dropped, LeBron was the first one that posted on his IG story. Y'all know whenever LeBron puts music on Instagram, it's going through the roof. And it's insane to me because that's something that I thought I wasn't gonna see happen. And it's something that is messing with me right now. Like, obviously I'm not wearing what y'all supposed to. Like, this means something to me. Like, this is more than just music. Like, whenever I was talking on Twitter, like, bro, it's not just me just talking just to talk, or like I want attention. I could care less about that. It's the fact that this man really changed my life, and he really changed the outlook I have. It really, if you listen to it, like, you don't even have to listen to his music. Just watch an interview.
Right.
He will change the way you look at everything, and it's so impactful. So I understand what this meant to like sports. They asked Lou Williams last night, how did he feel about Nipsey Hussle being shot, and he said he was still in awe, and I'm still in awe. Like, me talking about it right now is just like, I can't even put into words what he means to me, what he means to my friends, like all of us that play sports. It's just a grind mentality. It's just the understanding that whatever you're going through, you gotta keep pushing. Like whatever obstacle you face, whatever trouble you have, it's a marathon. Like life has its ups and downs. People fall off, people come back into it. But it's on, you just keep pushing, because like whatever you see at the end of yourself, that's what him, like Victory Lap, he was preaching this album for like 6-7 years, and he finally dropped it, and that's his first commercial project, and then he got Grammy nominated. He did everything he wanted to do. Did he still have more in his plans? Yes, but he fulfilled his prophecy here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank
God
you.
always has a plan.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you kind of know the impact it took, you know, on the older
Yeah.
generation.
I feel like we
If
was
you
talking
would-
about this. It was like, this must be how they felt like when Pac died.
Yeah. I mean, he is our generation's Pac.
Definitely. And it's not even, I don't even
Not
care.
necessarily the music either.
I don't even care the fact, like, you know how people argue about if they listen to his music, I could care less.
Right.
He's more than an artist. I tweeted yesterday, like, if he would have made it out, I said I don't care about his music. I want what he was doing as a person. Like, he was changing everything. He made it okay to be independent. He made it okay to make yourself self-efficient. He just did things for the culture that you can't quantify. So thank you, Nip.
All right. That's about all the time we got. Obviously, emotions are high. What is so funny? Yeah, that's all the time we got. We're going to talk about some more stuff Wednesday. Obviously, probate is tonight. Caravan was yesterday. I was about to say it's tonight. But yeah, probate's tonight. Make sure you guys come out,
Just at the football field?
unfortunately.
Bundle up.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
cold.
ooh, I forgot.
I'm David Smith.
I'm Zach Collins.
I'm Cyril Neville.
We'll see y'all Wednesday.